So we've talked about how your brain can interpret emotional stress as danger and respond with pain. Today, we're going to explore something that may feel uncomfortable, but it's absolutely essential. Learning to feel your emotions fully, especially the ones you've been taught are not okay. So if you've been like many of the incredible women I've worked with, you might be thinking, but I'm already emotional. I cry at everything. And I want to say, there's a difference between feeling overwhelmed by emotions and actually feeling them safely and completely. So think about, the messages you might have received, and I know I've been there as well. During, when we're growing up, what messages did we receive about emotions? So maybe you have learned big girls don't cry, don't be angry, that's not nice. Stop being so sensitive. You're being too dramatic. Nobody likes a negative person. Or maybe those messages were a little bit more subtle. Seeing a parent shut down when emotions got intense, learning that your feelings made others uncomfortable, being comforted only when you stop crying, not while you're upset, and watching anger lead to scary consequences in your family. And your brilliant little brain absorbed these lessons and decided certain emotions are dangerous. I need to protect her from feeling them. So let me tell you something that perfectly illustrates how our brains learn about safety and danger. A friend of mine adopted a rescue dog who had been mistreated. And for months, every time someone knocked on the door, the sweet dog would hide behind the couch, trembling. He just learned that people mean danger. But my friend was patient. Every time visitors came over, they were gentle and kind to the dog. And day by day, week by week, he began to understand, oh, wait, these people are actually safe. So our brain works the same way. If it learned early that certain emotions are dangerous, it's going to keep trying to protect you from them. But just like that rescue dog, our brain can learn new information. Actually, these feelings are safe to experience. So when emotions arise, our brain thinks they're dangerous. It automatically creates that, protective barrier. And you might, realize the feeling away, like right away. I should be angry about this. She's just giving me a hard time. I'm probably just tired. That's why I feel sad. You might minimize it or dismiss it. It's not a big deal. Other people have it worse. I'm being silly. And do you recognize yourself? Let me know in the comments below in any of these scenarios. You can also distract yourself. You may immediately get busy with tasks. You could be scrolling on the phone when emotions arise. You could be eating, shopping, that used to be me, or do any other activities to avoid that feeling. Or you could be judging the emotions. I'm being too sensitive. I shouldn't feel this way. This is stupid. So these protective mechanisms happen automatically. You may not even realize you're doing them. So my journey from a good girl, with the good girl anger, I want to share it with you. I never forget that day where I realized I had never truly let myself feel angry. I was just holding it in. I was that good girl who always kept the peace, never caused problems, never got upset. And then one day something happened I just felt it was really unfair. I felt that heat rising in my chest, and my immediate instinct was to push it down, rationalize it away, focus on understanding the other person's perspective. But when I paused and thought, what if I let myself feel angry for a minute? What if anger isn't actually dangerous? So I sat in my car, let myself to, feel full force of my anger. I didn't act on it or say anything hurtful to anyone. I just felt it, like that heat, the energy. I just let it happen. And you know what happened? After a few minutes, it started to settle on its own. I felt clearer, more grounded, and actually more compassionate when I was trying to force that understanding. So the two emotions that we struggle with the most are sadness and anger. So many of us learn that sadness is a weakness, that we should look on the bright side or, take our tears away because they make other feels uncomfortable. So we've become experts at pushing that sadness away before we truly feel it. But sadness actually is a healthy response to the loss, to the disappointment and grief. And when we allow ourselves to feel sad without rushing, you know, and trying to fix it, we are honoring our experiences and allowing, ourselves to heal, like for that healing to occur. And anger is especially, challenging for women who are taught to be nice and accommodating. We've learned that anger is ugly, destructive, or selfish, but anger actually is information. It tells us when our boundaries have been crossed, when we are being treated unfairly, or where something important to us is being threatened. So, healthy anger can fuel positive change and self advocacy. So, do you remember that somatic tracking practice we've done a few days ago? We can use the same somatic tracking, the same gentle attention for emotions. So when you feel an emotion rising, I'd like you to pause and get curious. What am I feeling right now? And then notice, where do you feel it in your body? So sadness may feel heavy in your chest. Anger may feel hot in your stomach or in your shoulders. And fear might feel fluttery or tight. And then I'd like you to stay present with the sensation. You don't need to change it, just be with it. And then breathe in gently. Let your breath flow naturally as you notice the feeling. And I'd like you to speak kindly to yourself. It's okay to feel this. This emotion is safe. So, old pattern sadness, you may feel sad, and I want to give you a little bit of, how this may look like. You may feel sad and then immediately think, don't cry, you're being ridiculous. You're going to distract yourself probably. You're going to push that feeling down and then feel worse. And with this new pattern, this new rewiring, when you feel sad, we're trying to notice that the sadness is here. We want to pay attention to how it feels in our body. We want to breathe with it. And we want to acknowledge that it's okay to feel sad about this. So, the practice for this session is really to start with gentle emotion awareness, checking in with your emotional state several times throughout the day. How am I feeling like right now? We want to notice your automatic responses to emotions. Do you rationalize them away? Do you distract yourself? Or do you judge yourself for having them? We want to practice staying present with mild emotions first. So start with your most intense feelings. We want to use somatic tracking for emotions. We want to notice where do we feel the emotions in our body. What does it actually feel like? And then we want to speak to it with kindness. Thank you for this information. It's safe to feel this. So key takeaways that I want you to remember as some emotions may have been labeled as dangerous in your past, but they're actually safe and normal. Your brain can learn new information about emotional safety through those corrective experiences. As we practice, our brain records the new experience. We often protect ourselves from emotions automatically. So learning those patterns is the first step. Somatic tracking works for emotions as well. And you don't have to act on every emotion. Feeling anger doesn't mean being mean, and feeling sadness doesn't mean falling apart. So, if there's few things that I would like you to take away, is every emotion you feel is valid information about your experience. You don't have to like all of your feelings and you don't have to act on all of them, but you do deserve to feel them without any judgment. That scare part of your brain that learned to protect you from certain emotions was doing its best to keep you safe. But now you can teach it something new. You can teach it that actually your feelings are safe and you can handle whatever you feel. And when you stop fighting your emotions, you start feeling them fully. And that's when, you start moving through your journey naturally instead of getting stuck and creating more pain.